Hello, family. My name is Heather, and I'm an addict. First, I just wanted to take a moment of silence, just to invite the higher power of my understanding in to speak through me and to carry a message instead of the mess. Thank you. I'm truly grateful and honored to be here to share the second tradition with you guys today. Tradition 2 is, for our group purpose, there is but one ultimate authority, a loving God as he may express himself in our group conscience. Our leaders are but trusted servants, they do not govern. I was really happy that I was chosen to speak on the tradition that embodies our higher power, because that's what it's all about today, is the understanding of my higher power and what his will and purpose is in my life and in my recovery today, and to help carry that message. It's great. I love the Guiding Principles book. It is so awesome. And as I was studying and researching this tradition, it was funny to me because the steps deal with me and my higher power and my sponsor. What I choose to reveal or not reveal to anybody on my step work is entirely up to me. I was taught that the steps teach me to deal with myself and the traditions teach me to deal with the outside world. So as I began to read more in the Guiding Principles about the traditions, I felt a real sense of rawness. Like I'm taking this to a deeper level, because I began to see things that stood out as I was reading as my character defects, the areas that I fall short in, the areas that I can improve in, and how I just deal with people on a day-to-day basis. And I have been feeling a little raw about that, and it's no coincidence. I'm truly confident that there's no coincidences today, because as I continue to read on in the second tradition, it says that finding the bridge between tradition 2 and step 11 changes us at our core. I happen to be on step 11 right now. So see, to me, there's no coincidences. That's my higher power speaking to me and revealing things that as I'm going through my daily prayer and meditation and seeking his will in a greater, deeper level, that he brought me to tradition 2. That not only is it about me today, but it's about how I'm dealing with everyone around me. So I was truly grateful when I read that. It says, we learn to trust, to be trustworthy, to give freely, and to lead humbly. And I think in recovery, and it does at one point in here talk about that being a trusted servant goes against everything addiction demands of us. Honestly, the last thing I care to do on my list of things that I like to do today is come and open myself up and expose myself and give back what was so freely given to me. I want to keep my character defects in the dark. I want to deal with people however I want to deal with them based on my mood and what it is I'm going through on that day. And this brings me to a whole deeper level and understanding. And as I'm going through my recovery process and getting to know people in NA and branching out to a new area to speak, it sets myself up for some vulnerabilities. And sometimes my disease wants to question how much a part I am of this, how trustworthy the process is. And that's one thing that I've come to understand, is that I have to trust the process. And it's through these traditions that are placed in NA that helps to continue to carry the fellowship and let us know that we can trust the process. It says the second tradition assures us that NA will be there for us no matter what. When we have a reservation in our second tradition, we don't quite believe all will be well. And my disease often wants to question it, like, maybe this isn't really the place for you. Maybe you being part of service, I'm part of the Unity Committee in Fox Valley. isn't necessarily what you need to be doing with your time. It says our experience shows us that NA is strong enough to withstand our growing pains, because like you all, I've discussed that I have character defects. We all have those, and my disease wants to try to tell me that my character defects disqualify me from being part of this fellowship. You know, and to see in black and whites that it's NA is strong enough to withstand our growing pains. That this is growth, and that's a beautiful process. Tradition 2 tells us that we can trust a power greater than ourselves. We learn to stand up for a principle without feeling like we are fighting for our lives. And that just read back to me to something that I read in The Living Clean, where it talked about somehow we feel like we're backed into a corner even though there's nothing going on. You know, and I just love how the literature always ties together, really gets to the core of my disease. When we trust the process, we are free to participate in it. We are safe to act in unity, speak our conscience from a place of love, and hear the voice of our higher power. You know, I often see miracles. All of us are a miracle today. You know, we've battling this thing called addiction. We're all sitting in this room today, you know, with a day clean, and that's truly a miracle. And to understand that that loving power takes place in all of our service, all of our gatherings, all the decisions we make as we participate in trying to carry the message to the still suffering addict. That my higher power can manifest itself in each and every service meeting and each and every meeting, despite what I may think or feel. You know, because I may not agree with someone, I may not like somebody, someone may not like me, but can, you know, sometimes I want to question my higher power's ability to still work among all that mess and carry the message and save a life today. That's truly amazing to think that there's someone in this room today who maybe hasn't heard that one thing that they're going to be able to use just to get through another day clean. That NA can withstand my growing pains as I change, as I continue through this process. You know, it's such a beautiful thing today to be able to give back, to be able to carry the message to the still suffering addicts. And our leaders are but trusted servants, they do not govern. And that's what I have to remember through all my step work, through all my traditions, that there's one ultimate authority. And that is a loving God as he may express himself. You know, and that ultimately if I continue to seek that in everything I do and everywhere I go, I may fall short at times. There may be that battle within me. But ultimately if I continue to seek him, he will express himself. You know, and that's a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful thing. I just cannot thank my predecessors enough for continuing to carry on the traditions, to be sure that we try to practice spiritual principles in all that we do, because we have a battle of personalities. We have a room full of addicts who all think something different and feel something different, and ultimately sometimes think that they're right, but they still go ahead and go with it, what they think that the overall group conscience is. Guided by a higher power. I have no idea how long I'm speaking here. I'm trying. Oh my God! It's only been 9 minutes. Are you freaking kidding me? Let me see what else I could hear. I just love this. Oh, I did. I left this out. Where, like I said, the steps teach me how to deal with myself. The traditions teach me how to deal with the outside world. It says we may not experience the same unity of purpose with people in other areas of our lives. Outside of NA, people who are not bound by traditions, but they have the principles and values of their own. We can apply the principles of this tradition as we relate to those around us. When we look for common ground, common guidance, and common purpose with others, our relationship with the world can shift dramatically. And I try to apply these principles in every area of my life. I'm a single mom, I have a daughter, and I often have to think, okay, I think I govern this household. I'm the governor of this household. But a lot of times I do. I have to step back. And I have to think about the group purpose of the household. I have to remember that there's an ultimate authority, and that is God, and that I have to seek Him in each decision that I make as a mother, as an employee, in my workplace. Because when it comes to me in recovery and a member of Narcotics Anonymous, there's one ultimate authority, and that's a loving God. Am I acting the way that I believe my loving God would have me act as a mother in my home, as an employer on my job, and dealing with my boss? You know what I mean? I'm just so grateful that I have these principles, these traditions to apply in every area of my life. You know, and the one that I do love is our common welfare should come first. Personal recovery depends on any unity. Our common welfare in my neighborhood, with my neighbors, with my children, with my parents, our common welfare has to come first, because everybody's recovery that is touched by addiction in my life depends on that. A common welfare. If I'm not treating my neighbors or acting accordingly as a good neighbor, you know, whether it be taking out garbage or whatever, the common welfare of the community depends on my behaviors today. And a lot of times people don't. I'm just so truly grateful, because most people don't have a program of recovery to work. You know, people who don't suffer from addiction. And just the idea that my higher power has manifested himself and found an opening in which to communicate with me through my 11th step, that meditation where it talks about prayer, you know, is talking to him, and meditation is listening for his voice. And through reading this, I hear him. You know, and it manifests itself in every area of my life. I'm just truly grateful for another day clean. I'm truly grateful to come and get back. I get really nervous when I have to get up in front of a group. I obsess and compulse about it ahead of time. I'm just truly grateful to be here. And with that, I'm going to keep coming back. Thank you.